We learn new things every day. Doesn't matter what age or stage you are at. We are continuously learning new things. And tonight I'm learning about Zoom waiting rooms because we had to do it. Okay. So welcome to our team call. Most of you, I think, have been with us before, but if this is your first or second or third time, I'm just really thankful and proud of you for jumping on and being a part of what's going on. I think one of the most important things that when anyone gets involved with any type of community, but for sure with our team and with Plexus, is that we really dive into the community, that you realize from the moment you click join, you're a part of what's going on, that we're all here. And yeah, someone may have been here a day longer, a month longer, a year longer, but we are all part of this community in equal parts. And we are just so thankful that you are all here tonight and that you are all doing this with us. So I would love to talk to you guys just a little bit, and then we'll kind of have some back and forth stuff in just a bit about what we are entering into. We are about to enter into the last season of 2020. Our business is just like any other business in that it does still operate in seasons. And so I did a corporate training a while back. I think they're still recording somewhere, probably on our team page, but about the seasons of Plexus, the seasons of our business. And as the year goes on, the seasons change and the activity changes. But what cannot change is your commitment level and that you're actually doing the activity. That's what helps you keep growing all year long, even if the fruit, the reward, all of that can look different depending on the season. And I'll give you some examples in just a minute. But no matter what season you're in, there are three things that I want you to always keep in the back of your mind. Okay? Retaining, recruiting, and ranking. Retain, recruit, rank. Okay? And at every different season of your business, at every different season of the year within your business, these three things might look a little bit different. It might be easier to do some than the others, but these three things need to always be on the forefront of your mind when it comes to what activities you are choosing to do, what activities you are making yourself do that you don't love to do, and how you're using your God-given gifts and talents and abilities to grow this business. So retaining is always important, right? I know for someone who's very recruitment minded, we think about constantly adding new people, and we're not creative in the ways or consistent in the ways that we're looking to actually retain the people that we have. For me, this is always a balance and a juggle. I'm just not a very multitask oriented person. I'm an extremely one-track minded person. And so I'm really good in one area, and then I'm like, oh crap, I have not checked on anybody for weeks. And so again, even for me, it is helpful to remember retaining, recruiting, and ranking. And the ranking piece really comes in, not that you're trying to just constantly meet the next rank, because there's going to be seasons. Y'all, I was Emerald for 3 years. Do you think I'm sad about that right now? No. Jessie Duke, and I'm sharing your story, sorry. She was gold for a year. Do you think she's sad about that now? No, absolutely not. Okay, so there are going to be different seasons where you're like, man, we grew so fast during that season, and then for whatever reason, you're having to learn and stretch yourself and grow. But keeping in your mind the retain, recruit, and rank three things is going to help you shift your focus on whatever areas are necessary. There are some seasons, and sometimes this season we're entering into is a season where we recruit a little bit less. And it's not because people don't care anymore, it's that people care about other stuff a little bit more than getting healthy in the holiday season, okay? And they're worried about Thanksgiving, and they're worried about Christmas presents, and they're traveling, and they're going here and there, and they might miss their subscriptions, whatever, right? So in this season, how do we love on our people, right? We're going to get creative in each different season of all right, so I'm not recruiting 12 people this month. I'm struggling to get my ALA. That's okay. You have people you have recruited. Have you touched base with them? What about the ones that have even fallen off the wagon? Keeping up those conversations. Remember, we've talked about this before. We are not here to convince anyone or to smash anyone over the head and be like, you have to order every month. We want to give them an experience and be available to help them want this for themselves. And if they do fall off the wagon, to know that this is an open door where they are loved and they can come back at any time. And so I want to prepare you for this next 90 days, because it could be the most fruitful 90 days of your business. I'm not going to put your next 90 days in a box for sure, because who knows, 2020 is not a box. It is not the year to be put into a box, that's for sure. But historically, the winter season is a little bit slower, y'all. It's sweater weather. I don't know if you know that that's the thing, but that is the thing. And people just don't care about what they look like in a bathing suit when they're in a sweater, and they're used to gaining 10 pounds because they're going to eat all the goodies or whatever. So some people care more, some people care less. So we're going to talk about throughout the next couple of months too, how we're talking to people, how we're posting. It's going to be a little bit different to bring new people in. But let's say that you have less new people coming in. So what are ways where you can be making sure you're maintaining your rank? You're watching those numbers and saying, okay, so if I'm only going to be able to add 3 this month, who am I going to help also add 1 or 2 on my team? Or who am I going to make sure bumps their order up to 100 PV this month because they've been loving their results and I see they're at 75 PV, you know? So it's those little things that it's like, I can still be watching my rank even if I'm not climbing through the ranks. It's still important to have that in the back of your mind. When we did Momentum Movement, it was really encouraging because I've been through multiple seasons of that. I know a lot of our leaders on our team have, and maybe you have been too over the last few months or a year. But even Emily Gibson, who's one of the Diamond trainers who does Momentum Movement, talked about how she worked really hard to maintain a rank for over a year for her husband's leg. And then because she did that monthly work of like reaching out to people and making sure she was still hitting that mark and, finagling that, then when a new season came for that leg of her business, it just really grew. So the main point though is that activity is always going to be the answer. So what can happen, and I know I just saw Vanessa say, slow seasons are harder, but a lot of times our activity dictates the slowness. Sometimes the season can dictate the slowness, but the activity level never has to slow down. I mean, if you need to take a break, take a break. If you need rest, rest. But recruiting is not the only activity. And I think that's where we can get tripped up on sometimes, is we feel like that's the only important part. Well, if you're not having a strong or heavy recruiting month, or this season is a little bit slower than that, how can you be creative in your giftings and in what your team needs from you or your people need from you in order to build new relationships? Maybe they're not going to sign up in December, but what if they did in February, right? What are you going to do to continue to reach out and foster that community with your circle that you already have? So those activities might change, but your activity level, you're still a job. This is still a job you're getting a paycheck for. And so anyway, I'm not going to harp on that a ton more, but I just wanted you to, retain, recruit, and rank. Those 3 things, if you can keep that in your mind, growth mindset can happen even if you're not seeing immediate fruits, right? Because I think sometimes idle hands and then our minds get kind of like crazy, is like, well, now I don't know what to do, so that I'm not going to do anything, and then everything kind of halts. So today I wanted us to just practice thinking through some things. 2 C words that I came up with after our retain, recruit, and rank. I'm kind of the alliteration junkie over here. Is commitment and creativity. Because you may have the most amazing fruitful season in the next 3 months. Again, keep working like that's going to happen. We have 1 more month of Leaders Retreat contest, okay? Do not slow down just because, well, Sally said people don't recruit as much this month, so I'm just going to focus on the people that I have. No, don't do that. Make me a liar, okay? Or make history not repeat itself. But your commitment to yourself, to your goals, to the people who have joined you in this. And that's something that you can renew that commitment every morning when you wake up. You guys, I have gone through personal seasons, and I can go in and out of them still as a diamond, where my commitment level, I'm like, yes, I'm committed, but my actions and my heart and my mind do not mirror that commitment, right? So what I've been doing and how I've been maybe fostering the environments on my team or whatever have not been showing that. And so right now on this call, I want you to think about it. If you're doing this, then do it. And it doesn't have to be monotonous, doesn't have to be the same thing, and it will change. But if you're going to be here, then be here and enjoy it with us and work through the seasons with us. And we're going to learn and do things together, okay? So commit to yourself, to your goals, to the people that have joined you already. You know, even if they give up on themselves, your commitment to your products, your commitment to sharing, your commitment to your team will make a difference for those people when they decide to recommit to themselves, because you're going to still be there committed and they're going to lock back arms with you. I have seen it. I've done this for 5 years. And I would say half of the people that I signed up this year are people that I had signed up previously in previous years. They will come back around. So don't let people falling off the wagon get you down. You stay committed. You stay the course. Do your thing. Find joy in it, and people will gravitate back to you when they are ready. It's a very much personal issue for them, just as personal as it is for us when we let ourselves fall off bandwagons. And I said I was going to work out every day this month, and I haven't even gotten on the treadmill twice, you know, like we're all the same human when it comes down to that stuff. We're all trying to be more disciplined and to commit to things. So as a community, let's work together to be committed through this last 90 days, no matter what it looks like, because there is going to be fruit from your activity and your commitment. I have never not seen that happen for people that stay the course, who grow, who learn, who stick it out. Y'all, I'm telling you, if I've said it one time, I will say it a million more. When I joined every team call from Tamara Holloway and Jessica Heffley, and then when Abby started doing team calls, every single one of them said, if you don't quit, you will make it to the top. And I can sit here today and tell you, I would not be a diamond ambassador if I had allowed my thoughts to completely eradicate my action, or allowed my thoughts to completely, you know, stop me from believing that this was possible, because it is possible. And if you don't quit, you will also go that way. Doesn't mean that if you just quit and sit on your hands, though, that you will go to the top. Keep going is what that means. So the other C word is creativity. Okay. Some of you guys are way creative, and I love you so much. I am like a wing 4 on the Enneagram, so I do love like creative things, but we are each blessed and endowed by our Creator with different skills, gifts, talents, and different creativity, okay? So the people who God has given you on your team are going to be blessed by you, and that's another huge reason why it doesn't matter if you have an upline who's awesome or better at things or different things than you are. Doesn't matter if your person below you is a rock star or whatever. God has given you this opportunity and given you these people to shine in a very specific way. And you disappearing is taking that away from them being able to do this with you, love you, grow with you, and all of the things. So your creativity in slow seasons, in different seasons, in seasons of growth, and seasons of refining, whatever it is, gets to be the fun part that you hang on to. So I want to encourage everyone tonight. We're going to talk about commitment, and we're going to talk about creativity for just a second. If you have paper or your notes on your phone, write those 2 words down. And I want you to think about for just a second, what are you committing to? What goals are you committing to? Your family goals. What people are you committing to? What rank are you committing to over the next calendar year? Because no matter what happens in the next 90 days, if you're committed to sticking this out, convention next year is coming. What rank are you going to be when you go to Leaders Retreat and when you earn Leaders Retreat? What, you know, like all of these things, you get to then look forward and say, when I'm in Hawaii, I'm committed to sticking this out and going there. I'm committed to sticking this out again and bringing someone else with me. So what are you committed to? And then I want us to walk through 3 different things and how we're going to use your specific creativities, giftings, and strengths and talents to commit to those things. So if you have written those things down, if not, just keep jogging your memory on those. And so when we look at creativity, I want you to think in this last 90 days, for instance, next month is October. It's happening in 3 days. I can't believe September's already over. So cray cray. Leaders Retreat, you have 1 more month to earn it or to earn prizes. Okay, so you have until the end of October to earn that trip, to earn the prize that you want to earn. Maybe that's one of your commitment goals. I'm going to earn that, flight reimbursement because I don't want to have to pay for my flights, or I'm going to earn that cash prize, or I'm going to earn that shopping spree. That's okay. It's okay to commit to a material gift when it is right in front of your face being offered to you just for working, right? It doesn't mean that you're a material person and you shouldn't strive for those things. No, it's a beautiful, wonderful gift. Reach out and take it. So for your Leaders Retreat, what is something creative that you can do personally or as a team in October to make that happen? Think about what you have done in the past and what's worked for you in the past, or what you see might be working for someone else that you've been too scared to try. In what way can you use your specific giftings? Think about, are you good with people? Are you better face to face? Are you a great hospitable person when people are in your home? Guess what? You don't have to work this just through instant messenger on Facebook. Okay, get creative with how God has blessed you and endowed you with giftings, talents, and all of that, and get in your groove. Enjoy this by working in those areas, okay? So for Leaders Retreat, what ways will you be creative and committed for those Leaders Retreat goals? Okay, so let's think about then November. What happens in November? Anybody? It's a holiday. Thanksgiving. Okay, I don't care if you have 2 people on your team, 20 people on your team, or 200 people on your team. In what ways can you encourage gratitude for the month of November with your team? In what ways can you bestow on people thankfulness? And can you foster that family community feel like everyone's craving that in Thanksgiving? There's a reason Friendsgiving is even a word, right? How about you have a Teamsgiving? What if you had your local people over to your house and did a potluck? What if you did some sort of, different giveaway for someone, or had everyone on your team go to the food bank, or did some kind of, fundraiser for needy families for Thanksgiving? Like, what are your passions? Where is your wheelhouse of, I can get people to jump on this with me because I love having people in my home, and that makes me super excited for my team, or I'm all about missions and we want to give, and I know that I can be passionate about this and I can bring those people along with me. So what is your creativity that you could use in November to build that sense of community and bring people along with you? And I promise you, when you're doing this and you're kind of living in those areas of giftings and creativity in between your normal IPA, you will find people on your team that may have not been as committed before, that come out of the woodwork kind of to be committed with you because you are flowing in your giftings and you are flowing in your passions. And that's what really attracts people, versus when we just feel like we're, flowing through the mundane. And the last one I want you to think about, I know it's 3 months away, but it's Christmas. You guys, 2020 needs a freaking awesome Christmas season. All I'm saying is, once the Christmas music starts, I don't know that I'm going to stop it for a long time. And those of you who have been friends with me or know me, I leave my Christmas tree up till like February. So my Christmas season is already really long. But in what ways can we overflow our creativity and our passions and all of these things for Christmas, for our people, to bring new people in? Start thinking about that stuff now. And I promise you, that stuff will give you life and keep you going as well, because you'll get excited about those things. And then you'll have other people getting excited with you, which makes everything more exciting. So creativity and commitment. Who can tell me in the comments, what were the 3 R's that we did in the beginning? First one who says it in the comments gets a high five. Just kidding. Maybe you'll get a surprise. Yay, Holly! Yes, retain, recruit, and rank. if you can remember those 3 things in the back of your mind, no matter what activities you're doing or what you're struggling through, keep those in your mind. And I also want to remind us before we hop off tonight, I know I said we were going to talk through things and then I kept rambling. I'm so sorry. It's just the 90-day rule. I feel like I knew this and it was ingrained in me, and maybe we don't talk about it a ton anymore, but there is a legitimate 60 to 90-day rule. Can anyone hop on and tell me what the 60 to 90-day rule is? It's okay if you don't know, but I know some of you know.
I'll go.
Okay.
It takes 60 to 90 days for people to start seeing what you're sharing to actually respond to what you've shared. So they don't just see your post and say, okay, I'll message her now and I'll sign up. It's usually they're mulling it over, they're watching you, they're stalking your page now, and they need to see a full 60 to 90 days before they're ready to commit.
Yes, she's right. 60 to 90 days. So often, and I am completely guilty of this. When I started this business, I was like, I'm going to post a Testimony Tuesday and a Freedom Friday or a Feel Good Friday. And that was it. Y'all, nobody might have seen any of the posts that I made those first 2 months at all. And so it's your activity, your heart, your continued commitment to sharing over these next 90 days that will make 100% of the difference come January, February, and then March. And does anybody remember what happened in April, May, and June of this year? I remember. You remember? I do too. That doesn't happen by accident. Yes, the stars might align in some years, and some years are harder than others, but I'm telling you, it was the consistent activity of your leaders and the people on this team that were still here last winter season that was allowing our team to hit the ground running in January. We had excitement, we had a plan, and we were going for it from day one because we did not sit on our hands no matter what fruit or lack of fruit we saw that winter. I'm trying to find the chat screen. What is happening? Here it is. Okay. Josie said the 6-minute plus product results too. Yes, yes, absolutely. So on either end, this season is so important because sometimes it's growing the roots that brings the fruits, right? And when the roots are growing, especially with things like bamboo, you don't see a whole lot of stuff up here. But until those roots grow deep and strong, your tree, your fruit tree or your wine tree, whatever it is not going to grow strong until we do that digging down and do that. So yes, 60 to 90 days, remember. So let's say maybe your recruiting does falter a little bit in this season, and that's okay if it does. If you've got people that have joined you within the last 30, 60, and 90 days, they may just be hitting their stride and falling in love with their products during this time. So the worst thing we could do would be to step back and say, well, this time's slow, it doesn't matter. Or this is Christmas, we're all busy, everyone's just gonna scramble, we'll get back together in January. Do not let this opportunity of these last 90 days of the year pass you by. Plug into what we've got going on. Plug into what you see your sidelines and uplines doing. Get involved, get creative, and get committed, because this 60 to 90 days could be the 100% difference for where you are at next January, February, March, April, May, June, and potentially where you end next July 31st and go to Mexico with us and a lot of your teammates for free next year. I would love to open this up to questions, but I know you guys have 2 minutes to get onto your other calls, but please, 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 we are going to have a lot of stuff happening over the next 2 days. It's finishing out September, so hopefully you're working on closing up some of the goals that you have. And don't forget, our first few days of October, we're going to be dreaming and goal setting together. We do that every month. First couple of days, we're gonna get the new calendar out, and then we're gonna do that monthly workflow together, meeting with your sponsors, meeting with your teams, getting on that same page and going after this thing together, because there is no season, no matter how different it looks, that it is not worth it to put in the time and the energy to grow this and to grow it well. I promise you the rewards are so, so worth it, and the lives that will change because of your commitment will be incredible. I love you guys, and I hope you have an incredible night and rest of September, and we will talk soon.